guys, Edison7716 here, and welcome back to my second episode on my survival let's play for 1.18. In this episode, I'm hoping to get a couple of things done, hoping to get some cows, do some cave mining, and maybe even start mining diamonds. And whatever is gonna happen today, I'm gonna assume it's gonna be epic. Oops, wrong button. That's what I meant to do. Epic. Okay, now it's best to tell you all about how ore is distributed. Iron is distributed mostly at -16, which is in deep slate layer, or at 200 and above in like stony peaks or mountain areas. Coal is best found at level 96, but it has reduced air exposure. That means it's harder to find it actually exposed. Copper is found at layer 48, and it's best found at deep slate caves. Although you also will find copper veins in low stone levels below Y56 and below. Now gold is best found at -16, which is also in deep slate layer, and it's also reduced air exposure, but it's found constantly in the very low areas. But the best place to look for it is in the Badlands, or formerly known as the Mesa biome. Lapis is best found at -0, with some of it being at reduced air exposure. And diamonds and redstone, which is found best the lowest you go, but I think the best place to mine is -56. -56, slightly new -11. I mean, layer 11, I'm getting a bit confused, but anyway, so the best place to look for diamonds and redstone is -56, because it's just above lava layer. It's like how layer 11 used to be like just above lava level. But sometimes to find the first few diamonds, it's better to go caving. So what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna go caving, and I hope to do it all to a caving montage. Okay, here's all of the loot I've got. I managed to get 10 diamonds in the deep slate area, and I got a pretty decent amount of iron. Unfortunately, I've used up all my coal on torches and smelting gear down, but that can't really be helped. But now I've used up all my food, so now it's time to show you what these farms are good for. Now, bread is a reasonably good food source, at least for early game, and that can be made by 3 wheat, so I'm gonna make at least enough to make a couple slices. I'll just farm the whole thing. And after this, I'm gonna show you how to get your hands on a better food source, and that is beef. Now I've got my farm completely replanted, I've got a bunch of these extra seeds. What I can do is place them all in here. I'll just get rid of those torches and that allows me to get some compost, which can also be used to grow your farms. Also know that the process can be automated if you add some hoppers at the top and the bottom and chests at the top of the hopper and at the bottom of the hoppers. I did a short on that, I'll show you the link in the description. Okay, now that I've gotten some wheat, I can make me some bread by doing this, and this will be a decent temporary food source. But what I want to do now is get my hands on a beef farm, so I'm gonna look for a good place to build it. I think up here will do, and I'll just go make the necessary fences and get the necessary wood to do it. Okay, now hopefully I have enough fence to get this done, so I'll just build me a paddock area for a bunch of sheep and cattle, and then I'll show you how to, like, sustainably breed all your stuff. Okay, now that I've got a very decent looking paddock size, I can now start getting some livestock herded. Now when it comes to herding livestock, we will only herd cows and sheep, but that's all I need to get. Like, you can herd chickens with seeds, and you need to get your hands on carrots to herd pigs. But for me, cows are the most important because they give leather, which you'll need to get yourself bookshelves for enchanting tables. And right here you can see there's a bunch of cows, so I'm going to see if I can herd as many cattle as I can. Now cows will follow wheat, so that is that already sorted, so maybe it's best to put it in your secondary hand to make sure you always have it exposed. You can do that by pressing F. Like, F is how you transfer things into your secondary hand. And I'll just herd all these cattle back, and I want to get me up to 20. Now, cattle can breed every 5 minutes, and it takes 20 minutes for young ones to get to old enough to breed. And then once you have 20 cattle and 4 sheep, that's a good starter, because you can get 24 wheat and then keep breeding them and kill off 10 cattle and 2 sheep. And that should be enough to give you a sustained source of beef, and a little bit of mutton to boot. So we're getting to the farm area now, so you gotta, like, be careful. Especially when you have to herd them through water, they take a long time to cross water. But once we get them over here, it'll be easy. It's a good idea to have a lip over your farm, which I've got one over here. And then you can just walk them in through this area. And that's them in. Now, to breed them, you just right-click them until they've all shown their hearts, and that should give me 2 more. And there we go. That's breeding done. Now I'll just continue this until I have 20 cows and 4 sheep. Another thing you should really be doing in early Minecraft is making sure you have a good sugarcane farm, because I've been extending this time after time to make sure I've got a good amount, because it will help us get all the books we need to upgrade our weapons later on, which I'll show you how to do that probably in the next tutorial, but maybe in this one, we'll see. Okay, another thing that's good is to build yourself a spare bed when you're going on slightly longer trips, because you never know when nighttime happens, and although mobs don't really spawn as much as they used to at night, they will still spawn somewhat, so it's a good idea to be ready to sleep the night through. And one thing you want to look out for is if you stay up for 3 nights consecutively, you'll have phantoms, which are kind of like flying manta rays attacking you, which, yeah, that's not going to be good. But anyway, one thing you can do, like, what I do is, I have my R key actually mapped as run, because it's a lot easier to hit R and W than it is to hit Control and W. So I'd recommend going to options and doing that, which you can actually do by clicking these, going to keybinds, then going down to sprint, and I have it mapped to R, which is pretty easy for me because I am a touch typer. But yeah, I'll just come here to get some sheep. because I need some sheep to get my... This is all the 4 sheep I need, so this is going to be pretty good. So yeah, I'll get these back home. Now, the reason I'm getting white sheep is because I like to start off some generic sheep in case I want to get some wool later. Then I can breed them up and then colour them all, and it's like it's nearly night time. So, the sun, if I remember right, the sun when it's about 1/4 to 1/2 set is the best time to start to spam click to go to bed. Ah, great, the sheep. Yeah, have them in my proper hotbar. Yeah, better regroup them. Okay, now looks like the right time. There we go. And the tip is you gotta go really slow when crossing rivers because it takes a while for the mobs to make it through. The other thing you could do is try to get them over one by one in a boat, because you can have yourself and one mob in a boat at a time. Although you gotta be very careful with boats, because you have to make sure you have your bounding boxes on so you hit the boat and not the animal or the villager or whatever you have in the boat. So this is gonna take a while, so yeah. Okay, so I've just bred up the sheep, so now I have 6 sheep, which means I can kill 2 of the older ones. So when getting at animals, it's best to do crits. Now, crit is a down force when you left click your weapon, like a sword or an axe. So you jump and then you left click, and then you can get it in one shot. So that's a good that's a good technique to do when you farm. It's like get your farm animals with crits in one hit. Otherwise, they'll just run away and it would be tricky to get to them. Anyway, that's not much mudding. But I'm going to continue to breed them till I have 20 cattle, and then that should be enough to sustainably farm. I'm just going to do some off-camera work now and then come back. I've been doing some traveling. I've headed due east of my base, and I just saw a guardian out there. Oh yeah, that's definitely a water monument. That'll be worth raiding in a later episode, I guess. Oh, I just found some pumpkins. Taking 1 pumpkin back from a trip like this, or more, is a good idea to start a pumpkin farm, which is very good for trading with villagers once you get some villager trading going. So I'd advise to collect a lot of everything you find. In fact, my inventory is full from this trip, so I better head home. Now, just a quick tip for those who want to go exploring for slightly longer distances. You need to press F3 or function F3 if you have a Mac and look at the X and the Z coordinates, which in my case X is -181 and Z is 238. And then you should write them down somewhere, either in the chat pad, or you could write on a note. And you need to, and if you get lost, you can just head back to those coordinates. So that's one way to make sure you don't get lost. Another is to just know your bearings, like know which way is east, aka the way the sun rises, and the way the sun sets is west, so then that's south and north, and look for landmarks when you go exploring. Now, it's about time I talk about diamonds. Now, I've got a couple of diamonds from my cave mine earlier, but there's a reason why it's best to go cave mining first. You see, if you try to go branch mining early game, it's very time consuming because deep slate takes a long time to mine, and if you try mining at the low stone layers, they don't produce that many diamonds. But it's usually a better idea to wait till you have some good tools like a pick. So, a pick is one of the first things you should craft when you get enough diamonds, but since my sword is about broken, I'll make a sword. Now, it's always a good idea to have 2 diamonds spare, at least. I've got 5, so I could probably build an axe. So actually, I'll build an axe, but the 2 diamonds spare, it's good to build a device called an enchanting table, which is used to upgrade your gear. And, I'll just build me an axe, like this. So there, I've got some basic diamond gear, and I'll use those in an enchanting table. But that will be done in the next episode. So, I hope you guys did enjoy this. Yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like on the video. And if you'd like to show some support for my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Subscribing is the best way to help me make more videos, because it gets me more motivated and allows me to make better and better content. And yeah, thanks for showing support. This has been 867716. Goodbye.